great to see you, especially because of what we're going to talk about. Because one of the things I enjoy so much about Casa and Loma, I mean, you have great events. I'm always excited about the Christmas, the Halloween, but I'm also always excited about the concerts, the music that happens there. Now, usually I have to wait a certain time of the year for this. You guys are starting a little early for me here. What is going on?
It's just not enough for the orchestra and all of our musicians and our friends to only have music in the summer. And in the winter, let's face it, January, February can feel pretty long and dark, especially after all that hoopla over the holidays. And then we run into January, it gets cold, it gets dark, people get depressed, and we need a little music. And the castle is so much fun after dark in the winter. So what we do with Twilight Symphony is we zhuzh up the castle in candlelight at night. We give our guests a little walk through the tunnels, but it's sort of elegant and romantic. And we do small, intimate concerts in the carriage room. So again, it's intimate and an intimate and warm setting, as opposed to that big outdoor setting of Symphony in the Gardens and Sunset concerts. So just to give you the finer details, we're launching January 31st. It'll be Fridays and Saturdays from there until the beginning of March. And Twilight Symphony is split into two shows. Friday nights is Broadway to opera. Broadway to opera is fabulous. We have tenor Joey Niceforo and soprano Sarah Pepini. They're sort of castle faves, if you will. Audiences absolutely love them. They've been doing this show for 3 years, but they change the repertoire every year. So this year, Broadway to opera is going to feature music from The Greatest Showman and, of course, Wicked. So we've got some Defying Gravity happening. There's going to be a real mix of Broadway and opera because the two performers do those pieces so well. They've got such stage presence together and such legs in the community that people just love to come out and hear them perform. The orchestra has got some amazing scores. Again, they're going to be doing the Wicked Overture. They're going to be doing the Overture for Jesus Christ Superstar. And so we've got a lot of material, and the diehard Broadway and opera fans have something that they can come out and see, a real variety pack for the winter, so that they can keep their music whistle wet in the cold and dreary months. So that's Friday nights. Of course, Valentine's Day falls on a Friday this year, so it'll be Broadway to opera. It'll be a little bit of an extra special show if you come that night. A little Prosecco, a flower for your date. So that'll be really, really nice and romantic. Segueing to Saturday nights, never to be outdone by Broadway to opera, we have Rock Symphony. That was inaugurated last year. It really took off, as you know. That is so much fun with Justin DiDonato from the Cold Weather Captains and Cleopatra Williams. These guys are sort of savvy stage performers. They really rock out the rock. They're so great. We're talking about classic rock hits here, from Aerosmith's Dream On to Disturbed Sound of Silence, Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi, Adele, Rolling in the Deep. So they're just pulling out these pieces, and they're so good. Get everybody on their feet, give an infusion of energy on a Saturday night in a really warm and elegant space, but we just rock out the castle. It's so much fun. And we have like a little special again around Valentine's weekend. We're doing an extra Rock Symphony on the 13th of February and the Sunday, the 15th of February, because we have two special guests joining Cleo and Justin on stage. That is Anthony Almonte, who does percussion. I probably know Ozzy Melendez plays the trombone for Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. They are going to come and join us on the stage and play with us both those nights. So honestly, there's so much music to be had from January 31st right the way into March. And if we're lucky, beyond. I think ticket sales are already going really, really well. It's a small space, so we really hope that people buy their tickets soon, because audience size is 175. So we're not talking about a huge space. So if you get really up close and personal with the musicians, the orchestra, the maestro Paulo Busato is just jazzed to be doing all of this music. The orchestra itself is so exceptionally good and fine, and the maestro himself, of course, is He's an entertainment unto himself, even just watching him conduct. Altogether, the 2 nights are just going to be jam-packed with energy and fun, and I think it's going to just see us through those dark, dark February nights.
I want people to understand one thing, though. I think it's very important because you did talk about the intimacy that's going to be happening. What the atmosphere is really like because people go to concerts, they've been to outside stadiums, they've been to indoor, they've been to clubs. There's a difference when you go to a legit castle to hear this kind of music. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
It's the most unique environment, I think, this space, and for those who haven't experienced it, because I think we have we have a hardcore group of people that really we've noticed are coming every year, but new audiences need to come and check out the castle because it is exceptionally beautiful at night, because we've lit the entire space with candles. And because of the age of the space, the carriage house itself is a heritage space, and so it's such a unique and beautiful space to be sitting in. Very intimate, very romantic, close, and it's stunningly beautiful with the candles floating from the ceiling all the way to the floor, and the drapes and the stage that's up there with the musicians close enough even to touch, and to be able to have like a very I almost feel like intimate isn't that you can almost engage with the band and the orchestra, and so it feels more like a private viewing, as it were, almost like a studio session, except the environment is so elegant and grand and sophisticated, but also rustic at the same time. And so you really feel like you've been whisked away to this sort of private, hidden, secret event and secret space. And then you kind of emerge from it with all this energy. These shows, I really feel people leave with more energy than they arrived with. And I think that's a really good thing to experience, especially in the dead of the cold, dark winter. Perhaps I'm belaboring the cold, dark winter, but we feel it.
Just curious, the restaurant's open so we can eat before the show?
You can. So there's a Blue Blood VIP package, so that a prefix menu. So you would book your dinner and come a little early, have your dinner, and then be walked through the tunnel so that you arrive to you get, I think, seated in the first couple of rows. So you get VIP seating. And so you go straight from your dinner through the tunnels to the show and go back for cocktails afterwards. And I should say there are cocktails available, of course. So you can take your wine, which is another thing that you can't always get in venues, but at the castle, you can bring your wine or your Boulevardier or your old fashioned, whatever it is, into the concert with you and enjoy the show with a drink in your hand. Which I think is pretty fun and special as well. It's really, Liberty always, as I said, is always pushing the envelope in terms of what can we do to sort of level up our offering to our guests and make the castle feel special and unique, and to let you see the castle in a new and different way, while at the same time just watching exceptional Canadian musicians do what they do best, which is entertain at a very high professional level.
I love it. So when is it running from what to what again?
January 31st, from January 31st, Fridays and Saturdays on till beginning of March.
Every night is a big night, but Valentine's Day, guys start thinking about this. Okay, let me get this booked.
Saturday, yeah, we've got a lot of special stuff, so can't wait to see you there. I know you're going to love it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again. Cannot wait to be there. Always a pleasure speaking with you. And thank you so much for what you guys do for Toronto.
Always appreciate the call, Rudy.